A texting and driving ban was approved by lawmakers here in Florida and is now sitting on Governor Rick Scott's desk awaiting his signature. But some say even if it gets signed into law, it's not harsh enough to make a real difference. Joining us now is News 13 legal analyst Mark NeJame. Thank you for being with us.
Always good to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about the legal terms about this. This would be driving under a secondary offense. Explain to us, what does that mean?
It means that if an officer sees you texting and driving and you're not committing any other offense, then the officer cannot ticket you. So very simply, you have to be speeding or be involved in an accident, and then they can show that the texting actually was coupled with the other offense. Can they then give you a secondary ticket? And then it's still rather weak. I think the first offense is $30.
Right, which is another point. Do you think that it is harsh enough to keep people from actually stop texting while they're driving?
I think it's completely toothless. There is really no force behind this. There's no teeth behind this. If you use as an example Louisiana, I believe they've had this into effect since 2008, and they're averaging 18 tickets a year. And so it's almost impossible to enforce. It's more for show. It's more for the politicians saying we got something done when they in fact got nothing done. It does send out a message, though, that there's at least a law in the books, and that it sends out an understanding that people shouldn't be doing this. But as far as having any real force and effect, no.
And speaking of which, since this is a secondary offense, how hard would it be for officers to actually enforce this law?
Almost impossible.
Yeah.
The fact is that how do you know if somebody's not hitting a button to answer a call? How do they know that they're not simply, sending something or simply looking at something and it's not texting? So even if you're seeing somebody use the phone, you have to prove what they were doing and that it was texting, and then you have to be able to have it coupled with the primary offense, and then you can only get the driving record whether they were texting or not if there was an accident involved. So there's no teeth in this. It's simply for show. It's dressing. It's window dressing. There's nothing in there. We're not even sure the governor's going to sign it.
Oh, I was going to ask you that. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be good for Governor Rick Scott to put his John Hancock, so to speak?
There's no teeth in it. His advisors are going to be whispering in his ear, there's nothing to this, but if they want to have it out there for show, then they've got it. If he's going to send it back and say, I want something tougher, then we might get that. The governor's wife was involved in an accident not long ago where somebody was, in fact, texting. So that might have something to do with his decision about whether to veto it or not. But everybody knows there's really no teeth to this. It's so that the public at least has a message. Texting and driving is against the law in Florida, but there's really nothing serious that's going to attach to it. Only a very, very few handful of cases will come through the courts.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on this one and see if it ever comes to fruition. Thank you very much.
Always good.